Hello and welcome back to another Mates on Football podcast. I don't know if we can call it another season because it's been a long time since we made our last episode. So this is our first episode, I guess, on YouTube, and with me is Ryan, as usual.
Hi.
Hello. It's been a good start. Would you say a good start for Brisbane Roar this season?
Yeah, I think it's actually been a pretty decent start for Brisbane Roar this season. We played two matches against two Melbourne teams who are very good sides. Melbourne City game, I know we lost it, but we played very well, I have to say. On another night, we could have won by 3 goals. And then against Victory, that was actually a very, very exciting game. I think Wenzel Hall played fantastic. Our defense was brilliant. McDonald as well. So yeah, great start for Brisbane Roar.
Um, so we've played 2 games in the league so far. So in this podcast, we'll be talking about the Brisbane Roar game against Melbourne Victory, and we'll be talking some stuff about the other A-League teams. This is mainly going to be mainly talking about the A-League in this podcast. If you're new here, and also we're going to be talking about Brisbane Roar's move out of Suncorp Stadium, and we're also going to be talking about next game for Brisbane Roar, and we're going to be talking some Premier League stuff at the end. So do stick around if you want to hear us on about Premier League. So, first of all, Brisbane Roar versus Melbourne Victory at Amy Park. Brisbane Roar won 3-1. So, what did you make of that performance overall in the game?
I think it was a fantastic performance. Very happy that we won the game. Well deserved as well, I have to say. I think the likes of Wenzel Hall's really improved in that game compared to the City game, where I think he was probably awful.
Yeah, sorry, last game he was in Melbourne City game. Yeah, I thought he was one of the worst players on the pitch.
Yeah, I think he massively improved.
Yeah, completely different player.
Yeah.
Much better with the shooting.
Yeah, I think O'Shea was fantastic as he was in the City game. I think in the City game he was my man of the match. Yeah, so he was fantastic as well. Defense was brilliant. I think Corey Brown was absolutely fantastic. Gillespie was great. Aldred was just great as well. Hingett, really, really good. I actually remember the A-League team of the week. Our whole defense was in the A-League team of the week. So
yeah, if there was a fantasy A-League team, I know we love our fantasy Premier League, but if we had a fantasy A-League, if you had Gillespie and Aldred, you would be making a lot of points of that.
Yeah, because Aldred got the assist, Gillespie scored.
Yeah, you would be happy with that.
Very.
But unfortunately, Melbourne Victory did score, which was scored by Callum McManaman.
Yeah, but that was a great goal.
Yeah, it was a good goal. If that didn't go in, I mean, I have a feeling we would have probably stayed up when they scored, and then in the second half we were a much better sign, changing plaudits to Warren Moon, who changed the setup, and they couldn't really cause much problems. I think it was just us, really. And if we look at the stats, possession, they were actually 58%. So they were dominating, but it seems like we were more of the clinical side when we were creating opportunities.
Yeah, look, but for me, possession doesn't really matter. Like, I just think if you have more shots and you're look, it doesn't, yeah, possession's important. You're keeping the ball, but you're losing the game with more possession. It was what was the point of just keeping the ball and all that when you've just lost 3-1?
I thought Melbourne Victory looked sort of a similar side they were last season when they just weren't that good when they're attacking. But in the first half, they were pretty tough. But then, they didn't have much of a plan B, I think, because they just didn't know what to do against us when we did something different. And
yeah,
I do like Brabner, the coach of Melbourne Victory. But
Do you think he's the man for the future in Melbourne
I mean,
Victory? I
if
don't
that's
think
going to be the performances for Melbourne Victory, I'd be worried if I
he'll
was a
get
Victory
sacked
fan.
soon. Yeah.
This is not a Victory podcast, but I just be worried. But yeah, I'm looking at Melbourne Victory's team. I'm not sure about it. I know there's a lot of tips for Rudy Gestede for them. He came off the bench. He wasn't really fit, but they have some other players coming in, and they have Butterfield, who was pretty good, but then McManaman, of course, and they have some. They have also Crocombe, who was at Brisbane last season. They still have Rojas. They have a good squad, and I'm happy we definitely beat them. Because would you say they have a better squad than us?
No.
No. Okay.
I think our squad is very good.
Okay, that's yeah. Would you, if we're gonna move on to in terms of, would you change if you had to pick a Brisbane or 11? Would you change anything?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this for a while. I think our squad, with the likes of Kudo coming in, we should be playing like this. We should have a 2-striker formation with Wenzel Halls on the right, Champness on the left, and then McDonald and
So you say like a 4-2-4?
Kudo up front. Yeah, like a 4-2-4 I think is good. So then we don't need to play the likes of Akbari, who's been awful. I think Akbari's been one of the worst players.
Is we don't have a solid player in midfield. We only have O'Shea, and then who?
Yeah, but we have a very solid defense, extremely solid defense.
Unless we bring
I think our defense is one of the best in the league.
I mean, yes. Certainly.
I think Gillespie and Aldred are some of the best centre backs in the league at the moment. They're very, very good players.
Do you think we would want to bring in Jesse Daly or another youngster in midfield? And
I mean, actually drop Dan Zaki and put Jesse Daly there. I think Dan Zaki has not been really very good. All he does in my eyes, all I've seen is just run.
Well, I've actually been impressed with Dan Zaki. I think his pace, and then he actually has good vision when he's passing. But I also think, did you say Champness in that attack?
Yeah, Champness on the left.
If unfortunately he's not eligible to play, we'll talk about that when against the Jets. But if we was to get, so we would have to play Dan Zaki there.
I'd then play Dan Zaki there, yeah. And maybe Kudo on the left striker roles, so there's a Japanese link up.
But for the game against Newcastle, I don't know if Kudo is going to be fully fit on the starting 11 for that game.
I think he will.
I think he's a bit underdone, so I think he'll be on the bench, but be ready to come on. I think it's important if we maybe stick to how we were set up in this game, and then we'll think about including both McDonald and Kudo. But can Kudo play in other position? Do you think?
I don't think. No.
Just quickly.
How old is he?
So we're going to look at some. So our new signing, I guess, is the Japanese international Masato Kudo. Is
30.
He's 30. He's come from Sanfrecce Hiroshima, and he's played at Vancouver Whitecaps. So does that mean he was under Carl Robinson? Wait, let me just have a look. Yeah, I think he was. So Kudo has played 16 appearances with 2 goals in his name, not the best, but in the MLS with Vancouver Whitecaps, and of course,
next time we verse Wanderers, of
course, current Wanderers coach Carl Robinson was at Vancouver for around 5 years or so, and he had Kudo in his team, so that's interesting. So Kudo is a predominantly forward. It just says forward, doesn't give me a position. I'm assuming he's a striker.
Wait, was he signed or is he on loan?
for Brisbane, he's signed.
Okay.
But
Because I know Dan Zaki's alone.
yeah, unfortunately, I can't find. But if Kudo is a second striker or a centre forward, I mean, we probably should think about sticking that 4-3-3 and then playing him at cam. But it doesn't seem like he's got that much goals in him, though. I'm a bit worried about that. He's
Didn't he score many? Didn't he score lots of goals in Japan?
he's got 4 goals and 30 appearances in Hiroshima. So I'm not sure if he's
Oh,
I don't know if he's like
that's a
that
bit
type of.
worrying.
I'm not sure if he's that type of false nine player. If he's got assists in him, or if this Wikipedia thing is wrong, but it can't be that.
Yeah, because I remember on Instagram when they posted it, they said experienced striker and he scored lots of goals.
It also says here I mean, reading his profile at Vancouver Whitecaps is what they think of him, and it says that he's a goal scorer who can finish with either foot.
Oh, so he's a
So
both-footed player.
that'll be
That's
also
good.
that's interesting, and hopefully he'll do well for us with McDonald. The thing is, I don't think he can speak English, but I think McDonald has enough experience to know how to communicate with him, which is important, with your strike partner. So yeah, with Wenzel Halls, it's gonna be a good team. So yeah, we'll look at the stats. From that, so the Brisbane Roar game. What do you make of Wenzel Hall's goal? He scored in the 79th minute to finish the game off. I mean, I thought there was good individual effort. What do you think of the goal?
I think it was a fantastic goal. The pass from Aldred was amazing,
I mean,
and Wenzel Hall's.
I'm not sure. Do you think Aldred I think he saw Wenzel was there and he just decided to just boot it forward. But if he didn't know he was there, I mean, that would have been that's a brilliant pass.
Yeah. And when Wenzel Hall's kind of lifted it up and like volleyed it, it was nice. I liked it. It was a good goal.
And that's the sort of stuff I like to see in a striker. A little bit of fast trickery, and then he almost for a second thought he took a heavy touch, and but he kept on the ball. It was poor defending from Melbourne Victory. I have to say they were looking to get that goal to make it 2-2, so they had a high pressing line, and then Aldred managed to keep Wenzel Hall was definitely onside, and that was good that he was onside because we quickly caused problems for them as soon as Wenzel Hall was on the break.
Yeah.
That was good, and also 1 yellow card in that game, so that's good normal discipline from us. I thought. I think it's important, but next game, let's just quickly talk about Brisbane Roar against Newcastle Jets, shall we? Because obviously Brisbane Roar's previous game was meant to be against Melbourne Victory at Brisbane, yeah, and at the Dolphins Stadium, but because of the three-day lockdown that occurred, it got postponed. So we would have been talking about that game if it hadn't been postponed. So now we'll just move on to the game against Newcastle Jets, which is going to be kicking off tomorrow at 6:05. If you're a Brisbane supporter living in Brisbane, so they'll be at the Newcastle Stadium. Do you want to go through the squad and what you think? So obviously Jamie Young is injured, and Joey Chandlers can't play against his parent club. So we're gonna have Freaky in. And what do you think of the squad? Also, yeah, I'll just talk about the ins. So Danny Kim is promoted, Kudo's promoted, We have a emergency keeper signing, which you see a lot down in League One and League Two. Well, we're seeing it here in their league, and then we got also another youngster promoted, Jelacic, I believe it's pronounced. What do you think of the
I'm not sure
squad?
who that is. It's very, very disappointing how Jamie Young is injured. I was very upset to see that because I really think, especially last season, if he wasn't in goals, we probably would never be where we were on the ladder. He was one of like the best goalkeepers in the league, if not the best. It's very disappointing how he won't be playing for, I don't know how long is it, like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah,
So
a bit
it's
of
very, very,
timeout.
it's very bad. But I'm not sure about Macklin Freak. I don't know if he's experienced enough to play. Apparently the new guy we signed, Bon Scott, got NPL goalkeeper of the year in Queensland. So
Yeah, something he's got some good credentials down in the NPL.
yeah, so I'm not sure who will play Macklin Freak or him. I actually don't know.
We'll definitely play Freaky in goals. He's just going to be on the bench because
Why?
Freaky's been with us. He deserves his time.
I
You
kind of
don't,
now wish we never got rid of Crocombe.
yeah, but Crocombe, I don't think wanted to be with us on the bench.
True.
So you're saying we should play the other guy instead of Freaky?
Yeah,
Why? I mean,
because he got NPL goalie of the year. Like, I don't know if I want to play Freaky, who like isn't as experienced and he doesn't seem as good.
well,
He kind of reminds me of another Ben White.
oh, is that what's his name?
Not Ben White, sorry.
What's his name again?
What's his name?
Brandon White.
Brandon White. I was like, wait, no, Ben White's the centre back from Brighton.
But he's got good. He's young and he's been at the Brisbane Royal youth system for a long time. And we've seen him in long hair, short hair. I think he's very tall, and I think if we play him, he'll be one of. I think we should be playing him. He's been at the club for a while.
Okay.
I think
I'd play
being
Bon Scott.
I think being at the Raw for a long time, I think deserves his chance in the starting lineup. But I've been looking through the Jets website. Can't really see any ins and outs for them. It's poor from the Newcastle Jets website because I can't really seem to find the ins and outs. But I can look at their recent one. If they got any injuries at the moment. This is for the game against MacArthur, so I'm not sure if this is fully if this might be the same or not. But of course, for them, they've got one injury, which is Kanorowski. And Lachlan Jackson, who used to play for Brisbane Roar, is also out for an ankle injury. So it'll probably be Bugard and what's his name, the Topple Stanley up in centre back. So that's going to be a tough one. You know, you got Gillespie and Aldred, and then Topple Stanley and Bugard, which is probably the two most solid centre backs in the league, maybe. But they also have Johnny Katrumbas back from injury. Jason Hoffman might be on the bench or not because he's been a little bit injury prone this season. Says he's coming back, but I did watch him against MacArthur. He didn't seem too well. But the players we certainly have to be wary of is Rami Najreen because he's been very good this season.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. We haven't seen much of Ali Abbas though at Newcastle.
Um, yeah, Ali Bass, and then we've
Seems to
also got
be off the bench.
the Petrados brothers as well.
Yeah, but the Petraros brothers aren't as good as Demi.
Yes, we also have to be aware of Steven Ugarkovic, but I'm not sure about his commitment to the team being already signed to the Wanderers. I mean, if I was Craig Deans, I wouldn't even play him. I'd probably play
Wait,
the other
who?
Ugarkovic, who's already signed with the Wanderers for next
Yeah,
season.
it's silly. I don't understand. For next season, why would they announce that?
Yeah, I mean, they probably shouldn't have announced it to the public, but
Yeah,
I mean, if I was Craig Deans, I probably wouldn't play him. I
yeah,
mean,
same.
he's a good player, and probably one of the better players in the midfield for them. But if I was the manager, I wouldn't play with someone who's going to leave next season. It's not committed, but it's tough times for Newcastle, I guess, this season. We also have to be
Yeah,
aware of
I have a feeling they're going to be the wooden spoons.
with no real like, owner.
I predicted Mariners to be wooden spoons, but now that how they're playing, I'm saying Newcastle.
I mean, many people predicted either Newcastle or Mariners and Wooden Spoon. Um,
Hmm.
but what about Valentino Yule, who scored in the game against MacArthur? It was quite actually
Yeah,
it wasn't like an
it's a
amazing
weird
goal.
one because he
It's more
seems
of
like a player who is fast
but
but
needs
is
to.
not good at football.
So
Like I
yeah,
don't know, like sometimes he has a chance where he can easily just pass the ball, but then he does all these tricks to try get past the player. It's and like it ruins the
yeah,
attack. Like I think it's like, what are you
I can
doing?
agree with that because I saw against MacArthur at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
at the stadium, the game where you have Nazarene and I think it was Donovan, I believe, or another
O'Donovan's been awful.
or another striker that they subbed on. There was them
Hmm.
two. You had the striker who just I don't know if it was a Donovan or not because he did get subbed off, but we'll just call him a Donovan, the striker. So you have him marked on that you can't really pass to him. So you got Valentino Yule running down that right hand side, so his pace he can run. Then you have
Yeah.
measuring in space. If
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yule
yeah. I remember that chance.
Yule just doesn't seem to see him there, right in that empty in the box. He he
Yeah.
he takes a touch, which was the right thing. He should have passed it when he took that touch after that touch, and then it would have been an easy chance for Rami Nazarene, but he decides to go by himself and go for goal. And it was quite a poor shot, very soft, easy for the experienced Federici. So uh, you know, I think the Brisbane Raw defense should be fine with Valentino Yule. There's been a lot of praise for him, but
Yeah.
any other names you think we should be aware of? Obviously, there's two former Raw players there.
Yeah, Roy O'Donovan's awful. I just have to say that he's not good this season, I think.
What about
Too
Connor
old.
O'Toole?
Connor O'Toole's been good.
Yeah, I think in defence you've got the former Brisbane Roar fullbacks playing in the two wooden spoon tippers. You got Nigro and O'Toole, and they're doing things into the bottom two favourites,
But
who are doing actually
I
quite
think
well.
the best player at Newcastle at the moment is Rami Najarine.
Yeah, by far. I
Yeah,
think
but I don't know why did he move to Newcastle?
no,
Like
it
he
was
was
on
so
loan.
good at.
So Melbourne
Yeah,
City had
okay, so
too
it's
many
on
young
loan. So
players.
they'll get him back.
Yeah, Melbourne City. I mean, there's a lot of young players at Melbourne City. It's like too much to juggle, really, because
Mm.
they have to loan them out to uh, to Newcastle. They also loaned Naja, um, Moody Naja.
Mm.
to
Yeah, to
MacArthur.
Western United. No, wait.
MacArthur.
Oh, wait. MacArthur. Okay,
Was it
okay.
MacArthur?
Wait, no, Najar. Yeah, no, Najar's from Western United though, isn't he?
let me just have a look.
Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. I'm just having a look now.
He's not in the MacArthur squad, which is I think it was
He's
MacArthur
not in the
FC line.
Western.
He was in
So
the
yeah, yeah,
squad.
they loaned
was-
him, but I think he is um from oh he is City. Why don't I think he's from Western United? Yeah, he's at MacArthur. Yes, yes, you're right.
Yeah, Simone City. We're going on about because we were actually going to talk about the other league teams. We're pretty much already doing that. With Norwich City and their bunch of youngsters and they're loaning out to other teams and all that. I would probably would take a Rami Najjarine at Brisbane Roar or a Moody Najjar. They've got a good young setup, youth setup
Should
there.
we quickly just talk about this? Tonight, Mariners are taking on Western Sydney Wanderers. I just want to know, do you think Mariners can go 3 wins in a row for the first time in I don't know how many years in the A-League?
That would be incredible if Mariners can go first with 3 wins, which I don't think many teams have done in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're looking at Wanderers and their performance this season, it hasn't been incredible. They haven't been outstanding, but I do see signs of good play. I do believe Bernie Beanie at Wanderers is a
I think
waste.
Abini's been one of the worst players.
I think they've signed a lot of players that maybe lack confidence.
The
James
only
Robertson.
reason why he went, I think, was because Carl Robinson.
Yeah, he's been with him in the MLS as well.
Yeah.
If we look at last season though, Mariners had in the 3rd round, Wanderers did actually have 3 wins in 3 games.
Oh,
And
I remember that. Yes,
guess where
yes.
they finished?
Yeah.
With Babel leaving.
Did
Getting
you hear
sacked.
Babel now like sings or something? He's on Spotify. Did you see
Everyone-
that? He's like
Yeah,
DJ.
I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
And also in the 18-19 season, no teams actually had 3 wins in 3 games.
Yeah.
So if Mariners can get that, Melbourne City got that in previous seasons as well. Oh, Brisbane Roar with 0 points in 3 games for 17-18. That's not good to see. Anyway, so yeah, I would really
Wait,
like
17-18, did Brisbane go 3-0 in 3 games?
3 losses. But if
Okay.
Mariners
But then we finished 6th, so that was fine.
if Mariners can get that 3rd win, that would be great.
I'm actually rooting for Mariners in that game. I really want them to do well.
I mean, I'm definitely not a supporter of the Wanderers because
Yeah.
I don't really like.
I have a feeling Alan Stajic will do something incredible though.
Yeah, I do like Stajic. I think he's good Australian manager who I think is doing good things.
Can I quickly say something? Since the 2014-15 season, if you look at it now, Mariners have not gone anywhere above 8th in the
Yeah, I
A-League.
do remember when they finished 8th in the 14-15 season, but I also
Yeah,
remember
they finished 8th in 14-15.
in that
And
previous
also
season.
16-17, they finished 8th as well. Tied points with Adelaide.
Yeah, I remember 14-15 is the first season where they just completely lost it with after Graham Arnold left. I mean, they had Phil Moss. It was at their Phil Moss and was their first manager after Graham Arnold. I remember them just completely, not being how they usually were.
Yeah.
But it's good that they're back at their best. I mean,
Yeah.
not against Brisbane Roar, but
Well, you never know as well. Like they could just have a
it's,
good start like Wanderers did and then
yeah,
go back down.
yeah, you can't always. Yeah, if we look at the Wanderers in round 3 of last season, they were first, and when you look at the table at the end of the season, they're what, eighth or something. So I mean, yeah, I do feel Mariners are having a good start, but yeah, you can't take games and 3 wins like what the Wanderers had last season and say that they're title contenders. So if anyone thinks
Mm.
of title contenders in 3 games, I mean that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
So let's talk about other A-League teams. Do we talk enough about the Wanderers? Do you have any more comments on the Wanderers?
Yeah.
Wait, did you say no? Yeah, no more comments.
Yeah. No more comments for Wanderers.
Who's their goalie? Oh yeah, it was the Adelaide guy, Magoosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been
Margush,
good.
yeah.
I want to say he's been good for Wanderers this season. He's only
And the Adelaide goalkeeper, what's his name again?
Adelaide United keeper.
Delianov. He's been really, really good.
He was he came from Western United. So this season we're seeing a lot of the bench keepers coming in and doing well in the first starting 11 because I
And
remember
Coletti's been good. Coletti, he's been
who.
good too. Joe
Oh
Coletti,
yeah,
remember him in Brisbane
Adelaide.
Roar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adelaide.
So Adelaide, yeah, if we look at Adelaide, they've been one of the better sides this season with 1 win and
They
1
haven't even conceded
draw.
a goal yet.
Yeah, they've only played 2 games, but if we're looking at those 2 games, I think they'll be one of those teams where, like last season, now winning and losing, they might be one of the same this season. I just feel like
Yeah.
I do like this sort of squad that they have. It's quite young and youthful, and I like how Mork is the captain.
I don't like that.
Why not?
He's a traitor.
I mean, I think it was Fowler that kind of let him to leave.
Yeah, but how dare he be at Brisbane Roar and then go and become captain of Adelaide?
But yeah, they have a good squad with Tommy Urich and Strike. I do like their squad, but I'm not a fan. I don't really like the Adelaide United people. Or
Yeah, same.
the club, obviously, being a Roar fan.
I think that De Cooley is a good player.
Cool, yeah, young.
Fan
They've got
favorite.
a lot of young players, Adelaide, and I think players like De Cooley and Kaladi. I mean, it's good. There are other
Yeah.
young players, I can't remember them. But so next we have Sydney FC. They've got the same sort
Do you
of.
think they'll win the league again this season?
I think it'll be a little
I
bit
do.
more tougher, but I think they've got a good winning mentality already in place.
And their squad is still literally the same as last season.
Yeah, they've got Bobo coming in.
Bobo coming in, yeah, I'm excited to see him back in the A-League.
I watched their game. Who they verse? Sydney FC. They verse against Western Sydney.
Mhm.
It was a draw. Yeah, I remember Redmayne did some
Barbarousse has scored a penalty.
poor things there in goal. Wasn't his best game. Barbarousse is back on the score sheet. Yeah, after a few.
After 12 games with
long
no
run.
goals.
So it's just if they don't concede silly goals at the back like that, I think they'll do well.
And I was very excited with their preseason. They did really well in the Asian Champions League towards the end. They beat Shanghai SIPG 4-0 away. Yeah, do you remember that? Braddon scoring, Bahaja scored 2, Wilkinson scored. And Shanghai SIPG
I
were
think
playing
it was a
Oscar. They
different.
were playing Moy.
I think it was a different. Was it a different Shanghai team though? Oh yeah, no,
No,
it
no,
was
no, no.
Shanghai. Yeah, Shanghai.
Go on their Instagram. It was in their.
Yeah, no, I see it. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know why on Google it comes up as Shanghai East Asia. That's
yeah. So
strange.
that's a good result. I actually
Yeah.
forgot about that game.
And then they drew with Ange Postecoglou's team 1-1.
If they, yeah, that's good. I think they'll be good this season.
Yeah.
Western United have good. I think they play really well. I just think
I don't like Mark Rudan. I'm sorry. Ever since he called Brisbane Roar a disgrace to Robbie Fowler, I've just hated Mark Rudan. I think he's an awful person.
you've lost respect for him.
Yeah, I've lost all my respect. I think he's a horrible person, horrible human being.
I do like the football they play at Western United. I like their Spanish import that they have brought in. I think it was
I
Victor
just don't
Sanchez.
like Western United at all anymore. All my respect is lost for Western United.
They're the new Wanderers, I'd say, because when they came in, I really did dislike the Wanderers because they always beat Brisbane, especially in semi-finals when they lost.
Yeah,
When they beat us in
we
semi.
beat them in the quarterfinals and the grand final. Remember?
Yeah, but in the
Yep,
semi-finals we got
that
reversed,
semi final. Oh no, yeah, I remember that 3-0 up and we lost 5-4.
and then the 1 and 13-14 season. No, sorry, 12 and 13 season, where in Shinjiona did some just embarrassed Marco Theo. We don't like Wanderers in semi-finals. So Western
Yeah.
United is your new Wanderers for you, I guess, with your hatred. Melbourne City.
Even though they have Borussia, just
Yeah,
City are good.
Yeah, I think City play really well, and I really like Craig Noon.
Yeah,
And I also
I really like McLaren and a lot of their players. I like McLaren. I like Noon. I like Metcalf. I think he's a great player. Tillio's an exciting player. Naboots, yeah.
he's injured.
Luna's, yeah, I know. That's why.
He's always injury prone.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tillio.
is it Dennis Jean-Rowe that plays for Melbourne City?
No, he was, but then he moved to MacArthur.
Is someone
Dennis Genre, remember? He's now at MacArthur. He was at
there's someone in
City
one of
last season.
is which player that remember when Wellington Phoenix got their player sent off? Was it John Rowe that fell?
Wait, who?
Remember when Alex Rufer for I think Wellington he got sent off in that game against?
Wait, when
Like,
was this?
remember when Wellington Phoenix got a red card and it was not worthy of a red card?
Oh, yeah. I think Genre was the guy who got tackled or something.
Yeah, if it's genre or something, but I think he's the best actor in the A-League because I saw MacArthur and genre was doing the same thing on the floor with.
Yeah. He's like the Neymar of the A-League, the acting.
He's
I think
else.
Genre is a great player, though. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, I thought it was a Melbourne City. That's what I thought.
He's a very good player, though.
Yeah, I think City play. I think they might actually be title contenders if they continue. And I also think Western United. I think I predicted them to be out of top 6. I think they will be top 6.
Well, I'll just quickly say who I predicted to be out of top 6.
Because Western United, they haven't won yet in 2 games, but I do think they'll get a win and finish top 6 at the end of the season.
Yeah.
They haven't played as many as the other teams as well. So MacArthur's played 4 games already compared to Melbourne victory with 1. And of course Perth, we can't really talk about them. Haven't
Yeah,
played yet.
here's my predictions. I said Western United to be out of top six. You said Western United to be sixth.
Oh, so I did predict them to be top six. That makes sense.
Yeah, you said Glory seventh. You said Raw ninth. And you put Victory second. I put Victory second as well. I don't know what I was thinking, but
I mean, you never know.
should we just quickly say our predictions? I said Sydney first, Victory second, MacArthur Bulls third, Brisbane Roar fourth. I think Raw will come fourth again this season. City fifth, I put, which I kind of regret that I'd swapped definitely City and Victory around. West Sydney Wanderers, I put them in sixth, and I put Western United to be just missing out. You put Jets 12th. That was a good prediction. I put Mariners 12th.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wellington Phoenix with their squad, they've got a much more youthful squad, playing more of the younger players like
Yeah.
Devlin.
I don't think they'll do very well this season, though.
I do like Ufuk. I do think he could play
I
in
like
school.
Maradovic.
Oh, Maradovic has scored. And Luke De Vere as well, and Redenton, former Raw players.
Hamid is a good player.
Yeah, former Queens Park Rangers player, Tomer Hamed, played in the Premier League, Championship, and well, who did he play for in the Premier League? He was Brighton, I think, former Brighton player. Yeah, I think Tomer Hamed has done really well, and I think he really is committing. Really puts his body on the line. He had blood all over him. Had to be taken off in their game against, I believe, MacArthur. Their previous game. Yeah, I think it was against MacArthur, but I think from their two games that they've played, I think they might just be trying to get into top six.
Yeah.
We've sort of gone on about my victory, so that's just. What do you want to talk about MacArthur?
I think they're going to be good this season. They've got very good players.
They do say that
And I like
the
their
players
manager.
the players that they've brought in, like Benyat and Susayeta and Puyo, and they're saying that they'll be much better in a few weeks when they're more fitter. But is that? Do you think that will be true? Because if that's what if that's how they're going to be for the rest of the season, I'd be a bit worried in terms of the quality that they were meant to have.
They seem like an inconsistent side.
Yeah, if hopefully for a MacArthur fan that those Benyats and Societies will come better in a few weeks. If I were because
they're just a bit old and they can get injured.
Are they old? Because Benyat's 33.
Oh wow! I thought he was like 38.
And Society's 33 as well. So
Okay.
I mean, I don't like calling players old at 33, but though if that's how they're going to play, I mean, you'd hope as a neutral, if I'm not watching a Raw game and they're not playing against MacArthur, I want to see those Benyats playing beautiful football, like with the good passing that they have. But I haven't seen too much good stuff from them. They've just been like a normal. I mean, Society's made some good runs, some good crosses here and there, but some good passing and nice lob chipped balls. But I like to see more like long range shooting from Benyat, and he's more of a defensive role in CDM sort of. But yeah, but I do like Puyo, and their striker Derbyshire has been a little inconsistent. I feel like he might kind of remind me of a bit of O'Donovan, but
Yeah.
hopefully they can gel a bit more if from a MacArthur fan point of view. And I do like their defense as well with Milligan.
Yeah, same.
And I do love watching
Milligan's a
Federici.
good player.
I do love watching Federici in goal. And the depth. I like, if you look at some of the other teams, they've got good players. Like at least one player, like a foreigner or a very good player on the bench. You see Melbourne City, they have Berenguer's on the bench. They can bring him on, and he's really good to bring on. And they've MacArthur have Tommy Orr, who they bring him on for Lockie Rose, I think. He's been good for
Yeah,
MacArthur.
Lockie Rose is a good player.
Has
Yeah.
been well, and I think that's good. MacArthur, that's positive for a new team in the A League. They've bringing in some good players that we haven't seen before. It's
Yeah.
good. So let's talk about more into Brisbane Roar. They've moved out. They've moved homes. Certainly for this season. I can already hear it.
You know how I feel about that.
There is 50-50 or at least 60-40, whatever you want to go with the percentages. But there is a divide between people who want Brisbane Roar at Suncorp and Brisbane Roar fans who want Brisbane Roar at Dolphin Stadium in Redcliffe. Go ahead.
Okay, I have a very, very clear thing about this. I think I understand why they moved this season, but if we are to stay at Redcliffe any longer than one season, that is the most joke and ludicrous decision I've ever heard from the Brisbane Roar board. David Pure would be ridiculous, and I'd want him sacked because, first of all, we are Brisbane Roar. We have been known to be playing at Suncorp Stadium for so many years, and like it has so much history with the club. And when I heard the news that we're moving to Redcliffe, I was like shocked because first of all, it's like an hour drive from Brisbane CBD, and second, it's a very, very bad stadium. I don't like Dolphin Stadium. I don't care if other people like it. I don't like it because I think it just doesn't look professional. It looks something like NPL teams would play at or something. It's first of all a rugby team stadium as well. It's not a
But people
football
saying
stadium.
it's boutique, it's small, it's compact.
I don't. Yeah, I know that, but I don't like. Yeah, maybe it's nice how the atmosphere feels closer. But being at a big stadium is like football. You'd love to be at a big stadium. I liked always going to Suncorp, and I've been a member for over 10 years. And we didn't get a membership this year because of how ridiculous that decision was. And like it's I feel like a boutique stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. If you're at Suncorp, it's a ginormous stadium, 50,000 capacity. Dolphin Stadium, 10,000. If we get into finals, and I swear, if we play at Dolphin Stadium, that is the most joke. That is just a complete joke. We cannot be playing at Dolphin Stadium any longer after the season.
You said the Suncorp, it's more in, feels. You said
It
it's
feels
good.
More like a stadium where you'd play football at.
It's good that it's 50,000, but it's
Yeah.
never really filled up to that. At least
Yeah, but I don't care. I like how it's a big stadium. It's a nice atmosphere with a big stadium. Being at a small stadium where I don't want to say this, but it's kind of povo. It's like I just don't like I just don't like the Redcliffe City, and I don't want to be playing at a stadium that's maximum 10,000 capacity. I think it's a disgrace. And I think it really puts a low light on the A-League. It's like showing how poor the A-League is.
Other people are saying it brings a highlight into the Brisbane Roar.
Yeah, well, those people are just ridiculous because if you've been a member for over 10 years like I have and playing in Suncorp Stadium versus Sydney FC 2016-17 season. Everyone's excited and everything, over 20,000 people. That's the exciting times. Not being at a stupid Redcliffe Stadium that is ridiculous and only fits 10,000 people.
I think for me, the main positive of Dolphin is because it's small and you can hear better. But the biggest con is the distance.
Yes,
I agree with
huge
I agree with the distance is too far.
That's exactly why we didn't get memberships this season.
Yeah, I don't know about the bit about 10,000 is not good for a normal. I just feel like there's not enough.
It's ridiculous. That's like National League South.
I feel like
kind in
Suncorp
England.
feels a bit empty, but
I like it. I love Suncorp Stadium.
yeah, I do. In terms of the distance, is close, but I don't like how it feels empty.
I just like the grand. It's
Yeah,
a grand stadium. I
it didn't
like that.
It didn't feel empty.
It makes me feel like I'm going to a proper professional football game. Whereas if you go on a Dolphin, you think you're going to a Sunday league game.
It did feel empty a year ago or so, but like if you're talking about like a few years ago, in the good
A
old
few years ago,
days,
20 grand usually.
yeah, it was brilliant atmosphere.
The only reason why it's
agree.
empty is COVID, man. Like, that's why people are worried. Last season, the only reason why there wasn't many
I
people
mean,
was
you
because
do
of
bring a
COVID.
good point. Dolphin
Do you
is-
remember also, do you remember the Wellington game where Wenzel Hall scored that winner? There were lots of people in the stadium. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was in the rain. Yeah,
And that was before COVID. That was January 2020, before COVID became a big thing in
you do
Australia.
bring up a good point, and I don't think anyone's heard about. But I know, I don't. Yeah, if people are worried about COVID, there are a lot of people that are at the game.
Yeah, I know that, but they're definitely during this COVID time before the vaccine, there will not be over 10 grand.
You wouldn't support that maybe should be at Suncorp because there's less people of sitting next to each other. You can easily be distant.
Yeah, you can social distance. Exactly.
But if you look at Brisbane Roar internal, like inside the club, they might not have as much. They want to save some money and
Yeah, I understand that, but this needs to be for one season. If it's any longer than one season, no, just absolutely no.
You could make a list with this, I prefer Dolphin, but it's too far.
You prefer Dolphin?
No, sorry. Like I prefer the size of Dolphin.
Why? Why do you like small stadiums?
I don't know. It's just nice with the atmosphere, but maybe a little bit bigger. I would say maybe not.
If they wanted to play at a small stadium, do it in Brisbane. Why Redcliffe? Ballymore, go there. Seriously.
If you look at the size of Cooper Stadium, which is in Adelaide, Hindmarsh, that stadium is probably one of my favourite stadiums.
That's a nice stadium. I like it. And also, it looks like a stadium. It looks like a proper stadium. Dolphin looks like a game where you watch under eights.
Yeah, I do like a small stadium, and maybe if it was a little bit bigger, like Adelaide Stadium, and if it was in Brisbane, that would have been perfect. I don't know if Brisbane Roar would do this, but I do feel I think they should build a stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because Suncorp's way too big.
I love Suncorp though, but if for finals, it's meant to be that big. Many people will go to finals. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I do.
If we make finals, you have to be playing at Suncorp. You have to.
Yeah, I think that comes finals if we do make it, which we definitely will.
Yeah.
It should be I would believe it'd be at Suncorp. Definitely the semi-finals if we make it. I'm not sure about the quarterfinals, but definitely semi and grand finals. If we did, it'd be at Suncorp, obviously. But
yeah, like oh my god, I'm just imagining. Imagine you get a grand final and you're playing at Dolphin Stadium.
Yeah, I couldn't see that happening. It'd be too small.
I would cry legit. if I
I don't-
hear
people
finals
sold out
time, we're
very
playing at
quickly.
Dolphin. Yeah, not just that.
We sold out
Finals
in 2
time. The last
minutes.
time I went, like that Western United game last season where we lost in the quarterfinals. That should have been playing
Yeah,
in Brisbane. Remember that? Remember that? We came fourth. They came fifth. But no, it was played in New South Wales, and that's why we lost. I think if we had crowds, Brisbane Roar would have won it because it would have made them more excited.
I didn't like last season in terms of Fowler's philosophy. I didn't dislike last season. That's why I was a little bit down on Brisbane Roar this season because I felt like I didn't want to watch that again. So I wanted to see. I mean, at least the
You
stuff
wanted
we
to see
played.
goals,
I
and
know the stuff.
Melbourne Victory
I mean,
showed
the
it.
most amount of goals we've scored. It took us a long time to be able to score. I think it was 3 goals in the game.
Yeah.
It took us right to the game against the Wanderers, I think. Oh no, it was against
Yeah, I remember when
Melbourne.
we were doing podcasts
Sorry,
and
Melbourne
for
City.
last season,
Melbourne City we won 4-3, but in terms of like 3-0 or something like that, where we have a plus.
and we had 3 penalties or something in that, or 2 penalties. It was 2.
The Melbourne City game. Oh yeah, yeah, that was a
Yeah,
Dolphin.
but yeah, I remember last season that 3-1 against Wanderers. Me and you were really excited in that podcast because we finally scored more than 1 goal. Remember when we kept winning 1-0 and 2-1
Yeah,
and all that?
I didn't like it. I didn't like Fowler's season.
Hmm. And now he's doing horrific and shocking it in India. Good on him. I hate him.
Yeah, I was watching a bit of his side, and I mean, he was doing the same thing, arguing with the ref and that. And
Yeah, he's a crap manager. Seriously, I don't want to say that, but he's a just rude person as well. Like suing Brisbane Roar, idiot.
we've gone a bit of a history lesson because I would actually like to talk about Brisbane Roar in a few seasons ago when the times of the football was really good, and I always watched those games a few seasons ago,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
know
I even sometimes now just watch highlights of those seasons.
I do see back then it was much more fans there. I do enjoy
Yeah.
just I remember the Suncorp and the it being a good atmosphere, but
Yeah, but the only reason why recent times there's not been many people going is not because of the football and A-League going down. It's because of coronavirus.
well, in a few years I think we'll go up
Yeah, it will
again
go back.
after
Yeah.
COVID. Yeah, I think it kind of resets everything, and I think once all that is gone, I think we'll be better. And if we're back at Suncorp next season, people are saying we should be at Dolphin forever and until we
No,
make
no.
it
I think I
until
remember
until we make a new stadium.
Corey Brown no, I remember Corey Brown and all those people saying we'll be back at Suncorp next season, most likely.
Is that part of your media program with the phone calls?
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, people are saying we should be at Dolphin until we build a stadium, or
No,
we should be at Dolphin forever. But once we
they're
build
deluded.
once we build, I think we should build a stadium and
Yeah,
be
build a stadium, but be at Suncorp until we build a stadium.
well maybe next season because I think
Look,
this
okay,
season
next season, start the building of the new stadium, make it beautiful, but play at Suncorp, not ugly
if it
cover-a-dog
was up to me, I
stadium.
would probably play at Suncorp on Friday and Saturdays and then Dolphin Sundays,
Yes,
but
yes, yes,
split
makes sense.
them in half
Yeah, if they want to do that.
like last
Don't have
season.
all games at Redcliffe and just make people
Because
retarded.
I couldn't make half the games or most of the games at home games
Yeah.
because it's so far. And usually I catch public transport sometimes into the games because it's easier and it's much. It's very easy to just go on the transport and then I go on the bus and it just goes right to the stadium and then it takes around 20 minutes.
Mhm.
20, 30 minutes. It's pretty easy, but if I was to go to Redcliffe on public transport, it'd be a bit difficult.
Yeah.
A bit longer. It's not as easy. Definitely couldn't go on the bus. But yeah, that's any more in the stadium. I do think that Brisbane Roar should create their own stadium and football.
And make it like nice and
Primary.
big, maybe 25,000 capacity, and like
yeah, I
really make it modern and
20.
futuristic.
I mean, if I'm
like
looking
really nice.
If I'm looking at Cooper's Stadium, let me just have a look.
25,000, I think. Or
It's
30,000.
16,500, and that looks pretty big.
Okay, 25. I think for Brisbane Roar, 25.
No, I think we should maybe.
Adelaide United are not a team that always makes finals. If we want to play finals in that stadium, 25 grand.
I think 20,000 is a good number. 20.
Do you think though, if we had our own stadium and it was 25 grand capacity, do you think if we made a home grand final, do you think it would be played in that stadium or Suncorp? I think Suncorp because the capacity is bigger.
I think it'd be played. Oh, that's a hard one, but I think it'd be played at Brisbane 25,000 stadium until the grand final.
Yeah, until the grand. I'm talking about grand final. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times it's played at the big stadiums, but
yeah.
Because if you look at the Champions League,
Perth Glory. Remember Perth Glory? They played the home semi-final in their own little stadium, ugly stadium, and then they played the grand final in the Optus one.
Yeah, that was
whatever it's called. Yeah,
good stadium.
I like that stadium.
So yeah, that's a good rant on that.
Yeah.
Should
we move on to Premier League?
We will, but yeah, we'll go in the Premier League. So, do we? Yeah, okay. Premier League, Manchester United. Let's read out the results. Do you want to read out the results?
Premier League.
Yeah. So we have.
So we'll go on to Manchester United versus Liverpool very soon because we're going to talk in depth about that. But we'll start with the first game of match week 19. Wolves and West Brom. It was 3-2 to West Brom. I was pretty disappointed with the Wolves in that game. I thought Wolves, when they went 2-1 up, I thought they were going to go on and win 4-1.
Wolves' form, I don't think has been any good.
And it's because they lost the likes of Raul Jimenez.
Certainly last 5 games in the Premier League itself, they haven't won in a while.
Yeah.
Their last win, to be fair, was in the FA Cup, but in the Premier League, it's been nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. West Ham, Burnley, 1-0 West Ham. Well-deserved. Burnley, great team. West Ham, great team as well, but the better side won. Leeds United, Brighton. Leeds, I was shocked. They lost 1-0 to Brighton. I think Leeds are a very confusing team this season. They're very exciting to watch. They are very, very exciting to watch. Like, whatever team they play, it's always attack, attack, attack. I love Bielsa's style. But 1-0 loss to Brighton is a bit embarrassing. And they've had a lot of mixed scores like that this season. A lot of scores similar to that, like against a team that's not very good, and then they go and lose 1-0 to them. Fulham, Chelsea. It was Chelsea 1-0. Nothing more to be said there. Fulham, they're getting better. Don't you think, Scott Parker's side?
Well, I don't like Fulham particularly, but I think they've got a lot of depth. I just feel like they are not playing. I don't know what Parker wants to do.
They drew with Spurs.
They're not playing their strongest 11, but I think.
Yeah.
But I feel like the strongest 11 would be some players not committed, if it makes sense. I feel like he's playing the players who really want to play. Something that can be good, but sometimes when you do lose, you think, oh, you should be playing the better players. But
and you said, as a QPR fan, you told me yesterday, one of their players, Joe Bryan, the left fullback, is linked with QPR on loan, right?
I think that would a bit of a stretch, rumor. I don't think it's really
But
I think
it,
it's
it
a.
would it would be a good move, I think, for him.
I
He's not
think
getting
the
any game time
I
in the
think
Premier
Fulham have a lot
League.
of players who are not really playing because I feel like they maybe
Yeah,
not 100%
I think they got to
ready in
loan
the
some of
Premier
their
League.
players.
Yeah, I think they've got some players not 100% Premier League worthy, like not worthy. That's a bit of a harsh word. Premier League
Joe
ready.
Bryan's a good player. He's just not getting game time.
Look at the Fulham squad. They've got a lot of players like Kamara, the French striker. I haven't seen him. Mitrovic
Yeah,
has
you're
been
right.
in and out.
Cordova Reed is good though. He's
Yeah,
been playing and he's good.
he was very dangerous against in the FA Cup game.
And Cavallero is a good player too. Is he?
Yeah, and they also have not Casilla, Fabri, the Spanish goalkeeper, and Rodak and
Hmm.
Ariola. So they've got three top keepers, and I think they probably want to think about maybe loaning one of them. I would say Rodak is loan worthy to the Championship, and then
Yeah.
bring him back next season when I think
Maybe
Ariola
the
might move on.
QPR question mark?
I don't think we need him
Okay.
unless Alki believes, but that's unlikely.
Yeah. Well, Leicester City went on and beat Southampton 2-0. I kind of felt a draw in that game, but again, I think the better team won.
What about
Southampton, good side, but they're missing Danny Ings.
the Aston Villa and Everton result? I think it finished in postponed.
Yeah.
No result.
Is it because Villa got a COVID outbreak?
I don't know which team, but a lot of
I think it's Villa because lots of Villa games are getting postponed.
there's been a lot of postponed games in other leagues as well, in the Championship, League One, League Two. It can happen at any time. It's like just
Look at
comes.
that. Villa, 15 games played. The rest of the league, 18, 19 games. So Villa basically have missed out on 3 games.
Is it good when you've got it? It can be good and bad. When you play less games than the other guys, so you know how many points you need to go up, but then you also have that nerves, I guess. But
Yeah, because I'm just checking now.
Good.
Oh no, Villa are on 26 points. No, it's okay.
I think Villa's aim was to stay up, I believe, but they're well and truly
And
doing that.
now
I think they don't have
Dean
to.
Smith's a good manager.
I don't think I'd be wanting to rush. I think they're fine, just taking it their time.
Yeah. Tottenham beating Sheffield United. Everyone would expect
Yeah,
that
I saw that
anyways.
coming. Kane and Son.
And then, yeah. And then Liverpool United, my team, Manchester United, drew 0-0 with Liverpool. I watched this game live, and as I watch every Manchester United game live, and it was, I think United really, really played well. And although on stats maybe it doesn't show it, I think United had the better chances. Alisson saved Liverpool. If they had Adrian in goals in that game,
If
the Pogba chance and the Bruno chance would have gone in and we would have won 2-0.
Before we go on in depth, just Man City and Arsenal, they both won their games.
Yeah,
which
4-0,
is
3-0.
causing a bit of problem for United. City winning against Palace, yeah, and then Arsenal getting another clean sheet, which is good for them. If you're an Arsenal supporter against Newcastle, they're
And I
coming
have
back,
Leno in my fantasy team,
back
so
up.
it's good.
Same, yeah, that's good.
And I
Clean
got
sheet.
Tierney in that week, so he got a clean sheet bonus as
And
well.
then Saka, and also I did have
Saka, I got him.
I was tipping Smith Rowe. He got an assist, but he wasn't in my team. Unfortunately, I had.
Yeah, I thought
Annoying.
you had him in your team last week, and I was like, why did you not have him this week?
I was tipping him for doing good things. I had Phil Foden instead of him. I thought because they have the double week. Double
And
games.
yeah, but Foden didn't score against Palace.
Foden will have another chance against Villa. Hopefully,
Yeah, well, that's like me with Bruno. He only got me 3 points against Liverpool. I captained him, but Fulham, I have a feeling he can do danger things there and get me more points.
Let's talk about in depth more about the Liverpool and United game. So you talk about Alisson here.
He saved them.
United had 2 good chances, I believe.
Which we could have won 2-0, yeah. Pogba, amazing. He was 1-on-1. What a save by Alisson.
But you
and
also,
then Bruno, I thought... Yeah?
The amount of chances Liverpool had, were they...
No, but
not
look,
threatening?
Liverpool's chances, they weren't as threatening. Firmino had lots of chances, but he skied those chances, nowhere near the goal. If you look at shots on target, we did have more shots on target than them. They had 17, but only 3 shots on target. Salah was ridiculously bad that game. I think he was one of the worst players for Liverpool.
A lot of people have been
Shaw,
captaining Salah in FPL, and I think,
but getting no points because they haven't scored any goals in the last 3.
If you love your FPL, you would know that he's been blanking for a while.
Yeah, for the last 3 games, definitely.
Which means he hasn't been contributing in many goals and that, and so he's not getting enough points for you. So yeah, I was also considering to have Firmino.
Luke Shaw.
He's not doing well either.
Yeah, he's not doing well at all. Luke Shaw, man of the match for me, fantastic.
Yeah,
he pocketed Salah so well, brilliant.
His also attacking movement. Luke Shaw has been. I always thought he was pretty good, and in this season, I mean,
introduction of Telles. Look, I was always thinking of this. Like Telles, he's a good left back, but I think Shaw is better than him defensively. Attacking, I think Telles is a little bit better, but Luke Shaw's improving in attacking. But I think Telles, I don't know if this sounds weird, would be better as a midfielder.
I think maybe in those games when you want to rest your better players, I think Telles would be good to play in those positions.
Yeah, or give him competition with Wan-Bissaka. I think Wan-Bissaka's been atrocious recently. He's not been good, I have to say. I don't like to say that about my United players, but I don't think Wan-Bissaka's been very good at all.
Really?
I think defensively, Wan-Bissaka's like this season, he's been ridiculously poor. Defensively.
But I think he's one of those. He's still young, so he's got room for improvement.
He's still very young. He needs to improve.
He's also got time to. So those younger players, their confidence is key for them, and he may not have high confidence, but I'm not sure because I haven't watched every single game. But 23. I think is good for the next few years. 1%.
Yeah.
What about it? Was Pogba playing right midfield?
Yeah, he was actually very good there. He was really, really well. Right cam. See, look, this formation 4-2-3-1.
Yeah,
it's different.
Narrow.
Yeah, so they play narrow but also wide. They switch up in the game.
Yeah,
it's whatever Ole tells them. But I like this formation. This is the formation that could get us to win the league, I think. It's a fantastic formation. I was very disappointed when I saw the lineups and I saw Ole play Lindelof. But I think he did well in that game. But for the future, Lindelof should not be playing. I think Bailly and Maguire are a way
I've heard a lot of praise for Bailly. I'm not sure why. What is he?
Because in the last 3 games that we played, we won those games because of Bailly. He made so many crucial blocks, especially in the Aston Villa game where we won 2-1. Aston Villa almost scored, but Bailly blocked it at the end. And that's why at full time, everyone went and hugged Bailly and were praising him and everything.
Yeah.
He's been very good.
Yeah, I do like the depth United have. They finally have Rashford playing every week. He's not injured or whatever. He's doing good, and certainly out of football as well, doing good. And yeah, I think do you think they need I don't believe they need to sign any big players in the window.
Yeah, see, at the start of the season when we lost like 6-1 to Spurs and everyone, we were all saying, get a centre back, get a centre back. United need a centre back. Now, I know Bailly is injury prone, which I'm worried. I'm really, really worried about this because Bailly, anything can happen to him. He can get injured and then for the next year he's out. And I don't like Lindelof. I'm sorry. I don't want to see him playing anymore. I know he played well in that Liverpool game. Play him against those little teams in the cups like Barnsley and all
What
that.
about
Do not play him against Liverpool anymore. Lindelof
Phil
and
Jones?
Maguire, not a good
I'm
duo.
joking.
Rojo, I heard, is going to be leaving soon.
Yeah,
after like
I also want to talk about the players that they need to offload. They have good depth.
We have so many players that need to go. Phil Jones is getting like 100K a week for no reason. He's horrible, and we don't even play him.
Well, he's injured. Actually, I actually didn't realize that
he's never going to play anyways.
Yeah, if I didn't know he was injured, he's only made 2 appearances last season and no appearances this season.
Those were in like the cups or the friendlies or something.
There was 2
like
appearances in the Premier League, but
oh wow,
he's never really
probably
had that
against
many. He hasn't been that like first. I mean, he hasn't been that that man who's played 30 plays the whole season, number 1 priority.
Yeah,
in the back.
Yeah,
Though he has a good amount of games last few seasons ago. He's been at the club for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
I think now it's time for him to go. Phil Jones.
Yeah, I think there's lots of players that should go. I think Phil Jones, most definitely. There's rumours of him going on loan to Newcastle, but I don't care about loans. We need them out.
Newcastle Jets.
No, Newcastle United. Sergio Romero wanted to leave last window. He was actually got his wife, and his wife put something on Instagram saying how much of a joke this is that he didn't get to leave. He's rumored with Everton. I think he should leave.
Yeah,
we don't
I think
need him anymore.
United need more players to leave than to come in.
Yeah. And the only reason why we can't afford some players like Sancho and that is because of wages of players who aren't even playing. Rojo, Phil Jones, Romero, all these players. Jesse Lingard. He needs to go too. Look, I thought a few years ago Jesse Lingard was one of the best prospects. He's just I don't know what happened to
just
him.
like in the season that they came second.
Yeah,
which
like
I really
good.
enjoyed the way they played, sort of. And that.
Yeah, with Mourinho.
I mean, you talk about park the bus with him, but in the opening few games, I was really watching.
I think that was in the first game of that season. We beat West Ham 4-0.
Yeah, I think I watched that game. Yeah, it was very good. How they played, it was very attacking on the break.
That's the season we had Ibra.
And Lukaku was very good.
Yeah.
But you're saying
Things went downhill.
You're saying maybe
but now we're back up.
You think this season is going to be better than second?
This is United season, I think, especially with Bruno Fernandes. I don't care. There's so many haters of him, and that is because he is so good.
Really? I think
yes, yeah. Bruno Fernandes. He did not do people think. Oh, he didn't score against Liverpool. He didn't assist. He's trash. What's wrong with him? I think he's fantastic. In that game, he proved his quality. He, right now, best cam in the world. I'm saying best attacking midfielder in the world at the moment. At the moment, better than De Bruyne. He's been way better than De Bruyne this season. I think Bruno Fernandes is the man to win us the league this season. And people are saying City are going to win the league this season. Well, let's prove them wrong. I think United will win the league this season. Next time we verse City, I'm saying United will win that and we'll go win the league.
I do like the amount of depth United have
yeah, it's brilliant.
In striker and midfield and defense. I think it's very good that they have these players. They don't have to be desperate in their finding players.
And are you excited with that signing we made, Amad Diallo? I think he's a brilliant signing.
I don't think he'll come
from Atalanta
straight away because of his
Ole said in a press conference he'll be coming in as soon as possible.
Like in the
Because
next.
Atalanta was saying, can you loan him until like the June when you can bring him on permanent?
Oh, so you're
And
saying
Ole said no straight away, and he wants him straight away in the team. He said he wants to get him in the team as soon as
like
possible.
bench or like
Ole.
starting? Like
No, starting.
start.
Starting. Yeah.
It's very risky because you've
It's
got.
not. I think Amad Diallo, maybe in the first few games he'll start bench. He apparently, so I was you know Sky Sports, how they have that transfer show. Um I forgot his name. You'd know him definitely. He was talking about every aspect of
Is
Amad
this
Diallo,
up
and
to sport?
no, Sky Sports. They have this transfer show or whatever,
Oh,
and
is it Micah Richards or something? No,
yeah, it's something Mick Scott or something. I don't know.
Scott. Scott. Uh, can't be Harry. Is it Harry Redknapp? No,
No.
not the Neville Carragher. No, Keane. Scott. Graham Souness. Can't be him. I think you have players and people on Sky. Are you looking for
Just
it?
trying to find.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'll just quickly go on about the depth because I think the depth, have they got Cavani when Rashford's injured or not playing, got Greenwood, James on that wing, and one Mata. And you have Van der Beek who can play there as well, and Lingard. It's just they have to have Bruno playing, really.
Yeah, I think while I'm trying to find it, uh, who do you think is more likely to win the league this season?
I don't like to put tips on the 18 games in the season, but I do think it'll be a competition between United, City, and Liverpool fighting for first place by the end of the season. And Tottenham could be there as well, and Leicester.
I don't think they'll do it though, Tottenham. I don't know. They're a bit inconsistent.
Not for the title, but I think competing for title.
Competing, yes.
In terms of that that they could win it if any other teams slip up, that they, because this is very tough at the top to pick right now who could win, because United,
Yeah.
City could go up on first. They have less games. Everton still have a chance to win the league. It's very tight. Though I think from Chelsea and below, I don't think they're at all
Sorry, I just found it now.
concerned.
The guy who was saying how good Amad Diallo is and what he's heard and everything. His name's Mark McAdam. Do you know who that is?
No.
Oh well, he's like the Sky Sports. He's like one of their pundits. He knows a lot about football and that. He like praised how Ed Woodward and everyone for scouting Amad Diallo. Apparently, he's very fast. He's very good on the ball. He's good with his both feet. And all of that. And he got like player of the year or something for the under 20, under 18 or something Champions Leagues with Atalanta. It was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just finding out.
I think he's a good player.
Mark McAdam was. Yeah. Yeah, I think United, City, or any in that top six, I think could be guaranteed they're contenders for the title. And
yeah,
I'd probably, people might go on about picking title contenders, but I couldn't pick one just yet. Do you have
Yeah.
title contender? Title?
Like, who can win the title?
Do you have that one team that you just think will win the title?
United, Manchester United.
You don't think City?
I may be biased here. I know because I'm a United fan, and like for so many years, United have just been really, really poor, and like we can't get top four and all that. I think though this season, especially watching that Liverpool game against such a quality side like Liverpool, the way we played, I think we can win. I think it'll be so close between City and United. I think United will just edge it. Liverpool, I think, will come third. I don't think they'll, with their injuries, I don't think they can, like, challenge City and United. They are title contenders, but I don't think they can challenge the depth of City and United.
Interesting.
I think the top four will look like United first, slightly, City second, Liverpool third, Leicester four.
I mean, it could happen.
Leicester
It's
will
all
get
tight.
Champions League, I think. Yeah.
I do like. I want to see Leicester back in there again.
Yeah, same.
But you've also got Everton, Tottenham, who are very close.
I think Everton and Tottenham will get Europa.
I mean, Tottenham are only. There's just that Conference League as well. You have to remember that. That could be.
Oh yeah, is that next year? They'll have that next season.
It could be. I'm not sure if which teams are eligible for that, but if
I think Chelsea for 5th, 6th for Europa, Tottenham, Everton, I'm saying, and then 7th Chelsea. I'm still going with that. Yeah.
There's also Southampton, West Ham, Arsenal. I think Arsenal could probably come up and into that top 7 if they keep
maybe
winning games.
Yeah, they've been in good form.
Could also be Villa.
Yeah, Southampton.
Southampton, they've got a bit of injuries in there. West Ham.
How do you think Wolves would go?
I think they should sack. I know a lot of people. He's not sort of someone you always see in the news or the Instagram of funny things managers sometimes always caught up in, and then you never really hear. Just what's his name again? Nuno Espirito Santo, the manager of Wolves.
Yeah, he's a great manager, I think.
Yeah, you don't really hear much about him on the news and stuff. He just does what he does for the Wolves.
Now there's rumors of him being sacked, right?
But like only because from the previous season he's been solid. Like the team performance has been solid,
but it's because they have Raul Jimenez as their main goal scorer, and he's not playing.
And in like the top 10 and that. But yeah, this season they're not doing so well. You could say injuries with Jimenez, but I think they should start to think about bringing in maybe some bigger players.
Yeah.
Or do you think they should sack? No,
don't sack. Don't sack. No.
Because I'm thinking they should probably sack him. And
they should make signings this window, though. They need to. There's rumors of Diego Costa.
Yeah, Costa and someone else. One other big player. Definitely not Ronaldo, because I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear the rumors though of Ramos going to United? United apparently are like leading the race.
Sergio Ramos, he's been linked with United back in 2014 or 15, around that time.
Yeah, and now it's linked back because as well, did you see David Alaba? He's going to be joining Real Madrid for 4 years, but he's joining them in the summer, so he's joining in July.
Yeah.
So, if that happens, Ramos could go because apparently Real Madrid are asking Ramos if he stays to cut his wages by half.
Well,
and United Yeah, I know, but United are apparently lining up something to have like more wage money for him than he did at Real Madrid.
I
And
mean,
if United win the league, he'd get
I
tempted.
prefer they look at PK because he was a former United player.
Yeah, I know, but like PK, I prefer Ramos. I
But I
think
don't
he's
know about
better.
PK leaving. But if Ramos is gonna leave, be a good pickup for United. But if you're talking about high wages, high money, I don't know if I'd like that for someone who's approaching what age? 35, 36?
34 he's right now. He's
Yeah,
34,
34.
so but he's like fit enough to play till 40.
That was good for a centre back.
Yeah. He'll have another 5
Yeah.
years in him.
That's good for United so far. And Brisbane Roar. Oh, we didn't talk about predictions for tomorrow's game. We'll finish off with
Oh,
predictions.
yes, yeah.
Brisbane Roar versus Newcastle Jets at the McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. So predictions.
I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Brisbane Roar. I think if Kudo plays, I really want to say a Kudo debut goal, but I don't think he'll happen. I think Wenzel Halls and McDonald will score.
I'm fearing that Newcastle will get their first point, but I have a feeling that Newcastle and Nazarene might do something. I feel like they might get their first point of the season, but my prediction, I think, will be 2-1 Raw.
Yeah. So do you think it'll be a harder game than it was against Victory?
I think so. I think maybe Newcastle. They're getting better. I can see that, but I see their weaknesses as well. But if Nazarene is on this game, I think it will cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nothing
else? Yeah. Well,
good luck to Brisbane Roar tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock around that time. That's good. So yeah,
excited.
We'll do more podcasts. We'll start to be more consistent. We'll be staying on here. We'll be on YouTube, and
we're moving from Spotify to YouTube now.
I think we'll be on both because we might be on both, but I would stay on YouTube will be our main place.
Yeah.
On our channel.
Wait, that channel is called Mates on Football Live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Subscribe to us.
Yes, like. And all that.
We'll become a very regular podcast channel.
We need to because
and also commentate sometimes.
Yeah, we need to do more consistently. We need to. I really think
we've just been very busy these holidays.
Busy and from a long time after the last podcast we did, but we wanted to do more commentary as well. So yeah, it's been.
We have new commentary up on that channel if anyone wants to look at those as well.
We will be more. We'll be back and we'll be doing more regular podcasts. And we'll talk about the game, which will be tomorrow. Next.
Yeah, we'll have a post-match reaction. Yeah.
Tomorrow, no, not podcast. Yeah, we'll talk about the game tomorrow, and Premier League games and all that same good stuff. So thanks for tuning in. This Mets on Football Live podcast, and
thank you.
See you next time.
See ya.